At the heart of the ancient city of Chichen Itza, among temples, ceremonial platforms, and pyramids that engage in a dialogue with the movement of the sun and the stars, lies a monumental space where play was transformed into ritual and sport into a profoundly sacred act: the Great Ball Court. Measuring more than 160 meters in length and 70 meters in width, this is the largest and best preserved ball court in all of Mesoamerica. Its scale is no coincidence. From the very first moment, the visitor understands that this was not a place for simple athletic contests, but for ceremonies charged with symbolism, where the balance of the universe was reenacted, the struggle between opposing forces was staged, and the eternal cycle of life and death was affirmed. The tall, perfectly aligned lateral walls support massive stone rings carved in relief and placed more than 8 meters above the ground. Passing the heavy rubber ball through one of these rings without using hands or feet was an extraordinary feat that required strength, precision, and absolute discipline. Yet the true value of the game did not lie in athletic skill, but in its ritual meaning. The ball game represented the movement of the celestial bodies, especially the journey of the sun and the stars across the sky and through the underworld. Each match evoked the mythic struggle between light and darkness, order and chaos. In this space, the players did not merely compete, they embodied the gods themselves and reenacted the foundational narratives of the Maya world. The scenes carved into the stone panels along the walls stand as silent testimony to this sacred dimension. They depict players adorned with ritual protective gear, ceremonial headdresses, and complex symbols of power. One of the most striking reliefs shows the decapitation of a participant from whose neck emerge serpents and plants, symbols of fertility and rebirth. Far from being a punishment, sacrifice was the highest honor, a necessary offering to sustain the balance of the cosmos. Sound played a fundamental role. The court's acoustics are so precise that a whisper at one end can be clearly heard at the other. This effect not only amplified the voices of priests and rulers, but also intensified the ritual experience, enveloping participants and spectators alike in a solemn and transcendent atmosphere. The Great Ball Court of Chichen Itza also served as a political stage. Here, the power of the ruling elite was legitimized, alliances were reinforced, and the direct connection between leadership and divine order was made visible. Each ceremony affirmed the city as a sacred center, a point of contact between the heavens, the earthly realm, and the underworld. For all these reasons, this space is far more than a masterpiece of pre-Hispanic architecture. It is a place where science, religion, art, and power converge. Its design reveals profound mathematical, astronomical, and symbolic knowledge. Its iconography preserves the myths that gave meaning to Maya civilization. And its monumental scale expresses the greatness of a culture capable of understanding play as a creative act of the universe itself. The ball court of Chichen Itza is without a question one of the great Maravillas del México Antiguo, not only because of its imposing dimensions, but because in every stone, every carved relief, and every echo that still resonates between its walls, the worldview of the ancient Maya remains alive, a universe in constant motion, sustained by sacrifice, knowledge, and the deep relationship between humanity and the sacred.